Welcome to Audiobook 365 Stories.
One afternoon, early in spring, a small, snow-white boy cat was walking slowly along the road. His ears were pointing forward, showing he was interested in something ahead. He wanted to take a walk around the farm where the road led. There was a gray girl cat there who he liked. The little white cat should have been more careful. A giant cat, a colored rival, saw the foolish white cat from far away and quickly knew what he was there for. With stiff legs, head down, and his back raised, the big cat rushed from behind. He ran quietly over the soft grass beside the road and caught up with the other cat without being seen. With one jump, he dug his claws deep into the small cat's body. The small cat screamed loudly and fell to the ground. The big cat kept holding the small cat's shoulder, pushing him hard into the dirt. Then, the big cat pushed back his torn ears, making his evil eyes look even scarier. Lowering his head, he held his song of victory right into the face of the small cat. For a long time, the big cat kept hurting the small cat, who was too scared to move at all. He took away the small cat's pride and honor. Then, he let go of him and walked in front of him toward the farm, without looking back. The little white cat was too weak and not worth the big cat's time. The big, spotted boy cat thought it was too low for him to even beat up the little cat. But the little gray girl cat had other boyfriends still. There was the squire's ginger cat and the bailiff's mean old black cat. To win her heart, they needed to be both brave and smart. At sunset, they sneaked into the farm from every direction, quietly moving through the corn or the garden until they reached the path by the hedge. The black cat, who thought he was the favorite, got to the meeting place first, or so he thought. But at the same time, his ginger rival pushed his head through the hedge next to the path. When they saw each other, both stopped suddenly, arching their backs and puffing out their scarred, battle-worn faces. For many minutes, the two ugly cats stood staring silently at each other. Then their whiskers stood up, their torn ears flattened, and their eyes became thin slits. They growled with hate, and their tails twisted and moved like newly skinned eels. Suddenly, the big, spotted cat appeared in the garden. Like a tiger, with his body almost touching the ground, he moved quietly past them. They hate him, that mean cat. He is their common enemy. Seeing him in action makes them become friends in a second. They run after him and surround him. Then they attack him with all their strength. They forget all about the gray girl cat. The battle cries stop. The sound of their heavy breathing and grunts fills the fight. Their chests rise and fall with effort, while their sharp claws dig into skin and flesh. They look like one big ball as they spin around, locked together, breathing hard into each other's faces. The spotted cat's strong back legs are stuck under the red cat's body. With his front paws, he grips the red cat like a vice. Then, pushing out his sharp claws, he straightens his back legs in a powerful, unstoppable attack. With a hiss of anger, the squire's cat falls back. It limps away from the fight, moaning, with blood pouring from its stomach. Now it's the old black cat's turn. First, their hair flies everywhere. It almost looks like steam coming off them as they rush at each other. They move incredibly fast. After rolling around on the ground together for a while, they suddenly break apart, and as if by magic, they stand on all fours again. The spotted cat is winning. His claws rake through the black cat's fur like steel combs. They tear the hair from the black cat's sides, leaving them bare and shiny. The black cat tries to block the attacks and fights back, but his back legs are not strong enough, and he cannot finish a full kick. Madness shines in their eyes. They are out of their minds with rage. Fear is gone from their minds. They are thrilled because now they are truly fighting. Until suddenly, the black cat struggles to get away. He breaks free and runs for his life. The big spotted cat has won. He shakes himself and rolls over, gives his paws a few strong licks, and carefully cleans his whiskers. Then, he quickly moves through the garden up to the farmyard, where a little later, he can be seen walking proudly on the roof of the pigsty. With an alert look and his tail twitching nervously, he checks all the trapdoors and open windows. Suddenly, he notices something and jumps in surprise. There is the gray girl cat on the manure pile below him. Without any hesitation, he jumps down. This was the important meeting. She had always been loyal to this one lover. But there were times when all the male cats in the neighborhood tried to win her heart. Often, she would lie on the wooden planks with one cat in front of her, one behind her, and 3 or 4 in the tree above her head. She was completely surrounded by them. But no matter how many suitors came, even if they traveled all the way from the seacoast and the fishing village, she still loved him and only him, the great spotted hero. He was a special cat. His ears, which were far apart and very short, were set far back on his wide head. His neck was thick and strong, his body was long and heavy. When he ran, he moved so quickly that it looked like he was gliding, and he could jump 2 yards without any effort. He had many colors: black, red, yellow, and white. A little bit of green shone in his mean golden eyes. They sat deep in his head, making his cheeks stick out on each side like dumplings. And in the middle of his rough whiskers, there was a small, scarred nose. It was always bright red and covered with half-healed wounds. He was always in fights. Once, he got a deep, terrible bite just under his throat, where he couldn't lick it. So, he went to his sweetheart. She helped him. She was loyal and true to him, but she didn't trust him to come inside the house.